Dear students, welcome again. In this video, dear students, we will discuss about supply. What is the concept of supply? How supply depends on different factors. What are the factors? What are the determinants of supply? Supply किन चीज़ों पे डिपेंड करता है, किन चीज़ों के घटने बढ़ने से सप्लाई में कमी बेशी होती है. That we will see in this class, in this lecture. Okay, and further we will also see the law of supply, famous law of supply. We have already studied law of demand, elasticity of demand, and different methods of measuring elasticity. In this class, dear students, first of all we will discuss the meaning of supply. What do we mean by supply? Supply simply refers to the various quantities of a commodity or good or service. It could be a commodity, एक कोई product हो सकता है या service हो सकता है. So supply refers to various quantities of a good or service that producers or sellers are willing to sell at different prices. Different prices pay what quantity the producers are willing to sell, that is supply. But here one thing to note, you must keep in mind, dear students, that is the ceteris paribus assumption. Means other things remaining constant. जो प्राइस के अलावा बाकी फैक्टर्स होते हैं सप्लाई के, वो चीज़ें हम ये अज्यूम कर लेते हैं कि वो चेंज नहीं हो रहा है, वो कांस्टेंट है. फिर हम देखते हैं कि एट डिफरेंट प्राइस what will be the supply or what quantity the producers are willing to sell to the customers. That is the meaning of supply. One more thing, this supply is different from stock. Supply is amount of commodity which is already there in the market or which can be brought for sale in the market on immediate notice. Immediate notice में जो चीज़ों को कस्टमर को सेल करने के लिए लाया जा सकता है या which is already there in the market, that is supply. Whereas stock is something which is there in the godown, which is there in the stock and which can be brought for sale after a short notice. A span of time is involved here, whereas in case of supply, at a particular point in time, that is already available in the market for sale. That is the basic difference. One more thing, this stock is a stock concept, right? Whereas supply, that is, which is counted over a period of time. The period could be 1 day, it could be 1 week, it could be 1 month. What is the supply of a particular product for a day, for a week, for a month, like this. So it's a flow concept. Okay, so further, this firms, why do firms supply? The reason why firms are motivated to produce, the most important thing is profit making, and when they are able to sell at a higher price, they will be selling more. So firms are motivated to produce and sell more at higher price. This is very common sense that if price of any product is more, sellers would be willing to sell more. Okay, and here one thing to emphasize, that the relationship between quantity sold of a commodity or a service and its price, that is the correlation we see. However, as I told you, that ceteris paribus assumption, these other things, other factors that determine how much a producer would like to produce and sell, that is taken as constant under this assumption of ceteris paribus. तो ये चीज़ें हमेशा हमें ध्यान में रखना है कि प्राइस और सप्लाई का जो रिलेशन है, दैट वी विल सी इन लॉ ऑफ डिमांड. बट when we study the relation between price and quantity supplied, we assume that other factors, those factors also we will study now in this class only. So let us see the now other important concept related to supply, that is supply function. Supply function shows the relation between supply and the factors of supply or the determinants of supply. Supply function shows this relation between supply, quantity supplied, and the factors of supply. So if you denote this supply of a product X by Sx, then these are the factors, that is price of the product, cost of the production, state of technology, and government taxation policies and subsidies, and other factors like number of sellers in the market available. So these are the factors on which supply depends. This can be shown in a functional form. When you show these factors in functional form like this, it is known as a supply function. So Sx, that is supply of commodity X, is function of price of X, then cost of production, technology, state of technology, government policies, and number of sellers or the firms producing the product or service. So in short, you can call it supply function establishes relation between quantity supplied and the factors on which quantity supply depends. Okay, if you have any query, I hope that you have understood the concept of supply function, but if you have any question, any query, you can comment in the comment box. So moving on to now the most important part, that is ceteris paribus, or other factors, the factors other than the price of the commodity. What are the factors on which supply depends? So these are the factors, common factors, important factors और determinants इन चीज़ों पे जो है सप्लाई डिपेंड करती है. फर्स्ट जो इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ होती है दैट इज़ रिसोर्स प्राइसेस, और इसको हम बोलते हैं इनपुट प्राइस ऑल्सो. इनपुट प्राइस जो चीज़ों को प्रोड्यूस करने में, सप्लाई से पहले प्रोडक्शन होगी, सो प्रोडक्शन करने में जो चीज़ें इन्वॉल्व हैं, जो रॉ मटेरियल है, जो इनपुट है, उसकी प्राइसेस क्या हैं, उस पर डिपेंड करता है. सो वी विल सी इन डिटेल वन बाय वन. सो सेकेंड इज प्राइसेस ऑफ रिलेटेड गुड्स इन प्रोडक्शन. जो रिसोर्सेज है उनको हम मल्टीपल यूज़ में ला सकते हैं, तो उस पर भी डिपेंड करता है. कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ कर रहे हो आप, उस पर सप्लाई डिपेंड करता है. देन एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ सेलर ऑल्सो मैटर्स अ लॉट when you talk about supply. And lastly, that is number of sellers. number of sellers किसी प्रोडक्ट के कम है, ज़्यादा है, उस पर भी सप्लाई डिपेंड करता है. So these 5 are the important factors on which supply depends. So let us see one by one quickly. So first thing is resource price. As I told you, input price. So when prices of inputs to production increase, जो इनपुट के प्राइसेस बढ़ जाते हैं, चाहे वो लेबर की प्राइस हो, चाहे वो रॉ मटेरियल की प्राइस हो, मशीनरी की प्राइसेस हो, अगर वो बढ़ जाती है तो सप्लाई जो है फर्म्स के ज़रिए जो होने वाला है वो डिक्लाइन होने लगता है. वाई? बिकॉज द कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीजेस बिकॉज ऑफ द रिसोर्स प्राइस राइज. ओके, एंड सिमिलरली इफ on the contrary, if resource prices decline, then that leads to increase in supply. Obviously, now it becomes cheaper to produce and supply in the market. So when resource prices decline, the entire supply curve shifts to the right. Now the firm can sell or supply the product even at a lower price. So there will be a rightward shift in the supply curve with the decline in resource price. Whereas with the increase in resource price, there will be leftward shift in the supply curve. Okay, now moving on to the second important factor, that is prices of related goods in production. Resources जो है that can be put to different use, as I told you just now, alternative uses, be it steel, be it electricity और पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट, जो भी ले लो आप, सबका मल्टीपल यूज़ है. किस चीज़ के लिए कि आप इस्तेमाल करोगे, you will produce those things where the returns are more, right? So prices of, there is competition in the use of resources, right? So that prices of related goods, if that increases, the resources will be diverted to that production of that product. Okay, suppose there are two commodities X and Y. If price of X goes up, then the producers will be motivated to produce Y. So resources will be diverted from the production of Y to X. So this way the supply of X will fall down, right? That is the logic here. That is the relation between prices of related goods in production and the supply. Okay, I hope you understood the concept. Next is the technology in use. What kind of technology you are using, whether you are using labor intensive technology, whether you are using capital intensive technology, availability of technology is enhancing the productivity and efficiency of labor, whether the technology is reducing the cost of production or increasing the cost of production. All these factors is going to affect the supply. Okay, and certainly the improvement in technology shift the supply curve to the right, because with the improvement in technology your cost of production will decline, and when cost of production declines you are capable of producing more and supplying the goods at a even lower price. Okay, and your productivity also increase. आपकी production capacity बढ़ जाती है improvement in technology में होने की वजह से. Right, so this is the relation between technology and the production. As you know that textile industry, earlier handlooms were there, now in general there is a lot of automation and power looms are used for in the textile industry. So the products which were made earlier by one labor was producing say 5 meter of clothes. Now the same labor can produce 100 meter of clothes with the help of power looms. So that is the difference of technology use, and the supply or the rate of supply increases with the increase in technology. Then moving on to producers' expectation. What producers expect about future price, on that also supply depends. When producer expect price of their product to rise in फ्यूचर में लगता है कि प्रोडक्ट की प्राइस बढ़ने होने वाली है, तो producers will hoard the product now, will not sell supply now, but hoard it, and they will look for the price to increase, and when actually the price increases, then the supply is increased. That is the thus the supply curve shifts to the left when producers expect a price rise in future. Okay, or and on the other hand, if firms expect price of the product to fall in future, then in that case the supply of product may increase in the current period में ही उसकी सप्लाई बढ़ जाएगी, क्योंकि प्रोड्यूसर्स को लगता है कि आने वाले टाइम में प्राइस फॉल होने वाला है, तो वो भी ओवर सप्लाई करेंगे और चाहेंगे कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सेल हो जाए करंट पीरियड में, सो दैट देयर इज लेस एंड लेस इन्वेंट्री अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट, और स्टॉक में उनके कम से कम प्रोडक्ट रह जाए, क्योंकि उनको खतरा रहता है कि प्राइस अगर फॉल हुआ तो उनका प्रॉफिट मार्जिन कम हो जाएगा. सो प्रोड्यूसर्स एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑल्सो प्ले अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन the supply of any product or service. And lastly, that which affects the supply, that is number of sellers. Simple logic here: if the number of sellers increase, if the number of sellers are more, supply will be more, right? और अगर number of sellers कम है तो supply भी कम होगी, right? This is very simple correlation between number of sellers and the amount of supply in the market. And you know that when number of sellers are more, then there will be rightward shift. If number of sellers declines, then there will be leftward shift in the supply curve. Okay, so these are some of the important factors on which supply depends. If you have any question related to all these 5 factors, determinants of supply, you can comment in the comment box now only. Okay, now moving on to the next important topic, like law of demand, we have law of supply. Law of supply states that higher the price of a commodity, greater is the quantity supplied. And here also other things remaining the same. That means all those factors which we have studied just now, those remaining constant. Then if price increases, supply increases. If price decreases, supply decreases. So what we have seen, there is a positive relation between supply and price of a commodity or services. So supply and prices are positively related, and price of the product is revenue to the supplier actually. Therefore higher price means higher revenue to the supplier, hence the greater incentive for the supplier to supply more. So in short, you can call it, there is direct and positive relation between price of the product and supply. Higher the price, higher will be the supply. Lower the price, lower will be the supply. Quickly move on to the next thing, how you can show this relation, law of supply. This relation can be shown in 3 ways. There are 3 ways to show this relation. One, with the help of table. In tabular form you can show this relation. You can show with the help of graph. You can show with the help of equation. In this lecture, in this video, I am going to explain first 2, that is supply schedule or supply table and supply curve. So let us first see the supply schedule. Here you can see the supply schedule. It's very clear. On first column you can see price of suits in rupees, which is starting from 0 to 500 up to 4000, and here quantity supplied per month by a particular seller. So when the price is 0, nobody would be selling any quantity, it will be 0. When price is 500, quantity sold or supplied will be 100. If increases, see there is an increase from 500 to 1000, the seller is willing to supply more. So this relation you can see continuously, this price is rising up to 4000, the supply has also gone up to 800. So what we observe the positive relation. When price increases, supply also increases, establishing the law of supply. Okay, the same thing we can show with the help of this diagram. This diagram is very much clear. You can see this is on this axis we have price, y-axis we have price, on x we have quantity, and you can see when the price is 0, your supply is 0. When price increases to 500, your supply is 100 in quantity. When price increases to 1000, it is 2000. So these are the points. When it is 1500, the supply increased to 300. When price increases to 2000, the supply has gone up to 4000. You connect this line, so you will have a upward sloping supply curve from left to right, and this is a linear supply curve because the change is constant. You can have non-linear supply curve also, that is also possible. Okay, so this also establishes a positive slope of supply curve depicting direct relation between price and quantity supplied. Okay, so these are some of the important ways through which you can show the law of supply. Now let us quickly see the exceptions to the law of supply, dear student. First thing is future expectations about future. As I told you in one of the factors, that if the producers or the sellers expect a price fall, supply will quickly go up in the current period, and vice versa. Similarly, perishable goods, it is the producers always try to sell it fast. cannot keep it for long. So even if in the current period price is low, the supply will be fixed, or whatever supply is there of perishable goods, that will be there in the market. So you cannot increase the supply of perishable goods. Okay, and even if the price is high, then also it is difficult, because perishable goods cannot be stored for long time. Similarly, the agriculture goods, that production or supply varies with the season. If you have good harvesting, then the supply will increase. Even the price is low, supply will be more. If even the price is high, and if there is no good harvesting because of low monsoon or bad monsoon, even then the supply cannot be increased. It's difficult. Okay, then here also law of supply will not operate. There will not be direct relation that at low price higher supply is happening here, but it should be low according to law of supply. Then moving on to rare articles and auction goods. Auction goods or rare goods cannot be, even the price is very high, the supply cannot be increased. Very high price will not be, because these are rare commodities, rare goods, or goods on auction also cannot be increased. It has a certain limit, certain quantity that is fixed. Okay, then legislation restricting quantity. बहुत सारे सरकारी कानून होते हैं जिसके वजह से उसकी सप्लाई को आप इंक्रीज नहीं कर सकते. पर्टिकुलर इंडिविजुअल से गेटिंग पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट ऑफ गैस सिलेंडर्स per month, say for example government has fixed that you will get that subsidized cylinder 12 only in a year, so you cannot get the subsidized one more than 12. So supply is restricted, though in open market you can buy more. Okay, then the competition means number of sellers are more. When number of sellers are more, the supply will be more. If number of sellers are less, supply will be less. So competition increases supply. You have more and more suppliers in the market, whereas in monopoly there is one seller only, and when seller is one, the supply will be limited, or supply will depend on the market forces or the price movements. Then out of fashion goods also, dear students, in that case also law of supply does not operate, even if the price is less. In case of out of fashion goods, what the sellers want to do, seller want to clear off even at the low price. ज़्यादा सप्लाई करके अपने स्टॉक को ख़त्म करना चाहते हैं, या ऐसे प्रोडक्ट, ऐसे क्लोथ्स जो आउट ऑफ फैशन हो गए वो निकालना चाहते हैं even at low price. So here also law of supply doesn't operate. And finally, last point is change in business or closure of business. If some business is closing, or it is any businessman is changing the business, then also whatever products are available with the seller will be trying to sell off even whatever price is ruling in the market. So then also law of supply doesn't operate. Okay, so dear students, we have studied in this video what is supply and what are the factors on supply depends. Then we have seen the law of supply, then how to present the law of supply with the help of schedule and graph, and finally we have seen the exceptions to the law of supply. Thank you so much, students. If you have any query, comment, please do comment in the comment box. Thank you so much.